And look, the right eye of Saunders is swelling up. Canelo round.
Spike Crawford hits the 6, 7. Right on the chin, right when he was throwing a punch. And this is what happens when you're in the middle of throwing number 10.
That's the counter right hand that Deontay needed.
In favor of the winner, remaining undefeated, proving he is one of the elite champions of the sport.
Can raise his game for Wilder. Whether he gets complacent, makes a mistake, but I don't know. It's got every chance of going wrong out there because I don't like how it's been handled. It's been badly handled, and that's just my opinion. No one else's. Tyson knows what he's doing, but I said get back on a plane. Let's have a look at the situation properly. Let's assess it. But there's no bright lights and glitz here, is there? Probably see a different Deontay Wilder this time. Probably a lot different.
I wouldn't get too excited about it.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It was getting my hopes up to give me something to think about, just because I still want to see Fury get that work, man. Like that'd be my best case scenario would be Fury still getting that work and Wilder coming out on top, and then Wilder fighting for undisputed with AJ. That's my best case scenario. Whether it happens 2 weeks from now, or it happens September 15th, or it happens in October, I don't see my opinion's not changing. I still feel Fury gonna get that work, and him prolonging the fight only makes me more confident in that pick, to be honest. My worst case scenario is that Fury does retire, and then Dillian Whyte and Wilder will have to fight for that belt, and then Eddie Hearn drags out undisputed the way he's been dragging it out for the last 5 years. I feel like he's gonna keep AJ busy, and they're gonna keep prolonging that fight until try to age Wilder out per se, and try to wait till Wilder get old before they actually make that fight. That's my worst case scenario. And in closing, man, what's your base case and worst case scenarios?
Well, the worst case scenario is pretty much what you just said. Pretty much Fury is just retiring and ducking out and disappearing. And like you said, him fighting Dillian Whyte, and pretty much like you said, Eddie Hearn using the number one trick I call it the Bob Arum trick, where you just pretty much throw Deontay Wilder on Joshua. Every time there's a fight, he keeps saying we're trying to make the fight, and this guy don't want to negotiate, or he's being too hard, or we're not going to fight for this percentage. And I would love to make Deontay Wilder fight Deontay Wilder, and he'll connect that to Joshua. And people had a hope that fight can get made in the near future. And because of that, it would help Joshua continue to be popular, because his name will be built around him fighting Wilder in the future. But I don't think it would never happen. But the best case scenario would be for this fight to get done in October, for them to fight, and for the winner of that fight to fight Anthony Joshua undisputed, like everybody would want, man, from a boxing fan.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this video already went like 25 minutes, so I'm gonna try to make this like a fight hype video. We're just gonna drop random topics, and then I'm gonna chop it up in one. I kind of got one more question about Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte is about to make his American debut, man. What's your is Charles Martin pretty much barking at him? Charles Martin pretty much calling him out and saying that you coming to America and fighting a nobody once you fight me. What would be your matchup? What would be a matchup that you would like to see Dillian Whyte in his American debut?
Ortiz. Fight Ortiz. That, like I said, if you think you on that level and you think you ready to fight the big dogs, and you really want to fight Deontay Wilder, you would get my attention if you beat Ortiz. So I would say go out and fight Ortiz, or fight Andy. But Andy did beat Joshua. So if you beat those guys, that puts you right at that tier or a little bit above them. And the only tier separating you is, like I said, the 3 big dogs, which is Joshua, Fury, and Wilder. So if you beat the guys I call the secondary big dogs, which is like Andy and Ortiz, that puts you in a good spot. So if he comes to America to fight a nobody, I won't get my credit. Tell you the truth, I don't think he can beat who the guy that gave Tyson Fury a hard fight. He looked pretty good.
Wale?
I don't think he can beat Wale. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, but I mean, he's not. Is he from over here or is he from
Nah, he's from like Ireland. He's from somewhere over there in the European
Okay, so
area.
I mean, I wouldn't want to see that for if he's coming to America. I don't want to see two UK fighters fighting, so I would want to see him fight an American fighter. So Andy Ortiz, but I don't think he can beat Whyte either. But I would like to see him fight Andy Ortiz, and if he beat those guys, I definitely want to see him maybe get an opportunity in one of those three. Deontay Wilder maybe.
Yeah, I agree. If you want to make a splash, like you said, and get on that level, especially ticket wise, and you want to be better at the negotiating table for those guys, you have to fight. You have to fight, to me, either Andy or Ortiz. Simple fact is they the only two other heavyweights here that's been on pay-per-view. Simple fact. They really the names that America excuse me. They're really the only names that America here respects as far as heavyweights. Even though Ortiz is not from here, he's sold out Barclays Stadium a couple times. He has a pay-per-view with Deontay Wilder. So you have to give him a look. Saying that with Andy has a large Mexican fan base here. He's in just by being associated with Canelo, he increased his fan base. He has a pay-per-view with Anthony Joshua. So in my opinion, well, was that a pay-per-view or was that just on the DAZN app? I think that was just on the DAZN app.
DAZN app.
It was just on the app. So, but he does have world championship experience. He has fought on that level, and they're the only other fighters in America here, except for what you gonna bring Brazil? You gonna bring Brazil back, or you gonna bring back Bermain Stavern or somebody like that? I don't see who else you gonna fight. To be honest, in my honest opinion.
My mind is very violent. Just like Malik said, we built a whole facility to commit a legal homicide.